What happens to the Krogan in the next Mass Effect game? Welcome back, Commander. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the possibilities of the outcomes of your decision in the Mass Effect trilogy and what impact that's going to have on the next Mass Effect game. If this is your first time here, I make videos on Mass Effect. I've got plenty of videos on my channel to choose from. Come join the crew by hitting that subscribe button. I want to thank the channel member Nerdy Dude for bringing this to my attention. Over on Rant, they ran an article about what's going to happen to the Krogan in the next Mass Effect game. I'll pop a link to the full article down in the description. The main article goes into depth about the Geophage, and it throws up some interesting question. What's going to happen to the Krogan in the next Mass Effect game? Now, to understand this question, we're going to need some context. Throughout the Mass Effect trilogy, you're told about how the Solarian-made virus limited the amount of babies the Krogans could produce. Known as the Geophage, it was distributed by the Turians to end the Krogan rebellions. A single female Krogan can produce 1,000 fertilized eggs in a year, and they can live up to around 1,500 years. The Krogan rebellion started because the Krogans had a dispute with the Council about the expansion rights. They wanted more planets to settle their ever-increasing numbers, and the current residents of the planets didn't want it. So the Geophage was deployed and the Krogan numbers fell. Not being able to maintain their numbers for the war, the Krogans conceded. However, the Geophage stayed in place and limited the birth to 1 in 1,000, a massive decline. Now, during the trilogy, you'll get the opportunity to cure or sabotage the Geophage. How you decide to fate the Krogan is entirely up to you. A little more on that in a moment. But here's a good time to remind you of the question: what's going to happen to the Krogan in the next Mass Effect game? As you've had the option to either cure them or leave them as they are, it does bring up a complication for including them in future games. In the comments, tell me which did you pick, cure them or not. Oh, and if you're enjoying this video so far, if you'd be so kind as to give me a boom on that like button. No matter how far forward you're going to set the next Mass Effect game, they're going to need to fix the Geophage problem. As you look down the comments, I'm sure there'll be a mix of curing and sabotaging. Probably more on the cure side, but still the odd sabotage, which means there will need to be a canon solution or a player decision on how the Krogans lived between the end of Mass Effect 3 and the next game. But it won't be just a case of cured or not. The Geophage was a huge storyline with quite a few possibilities. Peace was only possible if Rex and Eve lived, but even by the Citadel DLC, they were heading down the Rebellion's route.
Rex? What are you doing here?
Just butting heads with the Council over Krogan expansion.
And if you think about it, that's exactly how the Krogan Rebellion started. If anything happened to them, there's also plenty of angry Krogans wanting revenge. Then there's the other side too. What if you didn't cure the Geophage? Or worse, you tricked Rex or Reeve into thinking it was cured, and then it really wasn't. So what happened to them in those scenarios? One hand, the galaxy could be filled with Krogan, or they may have all been wiped out in another war. The article does come up with a solution. It says, finally, you could change the Krogan and or use a time skip to suggest some form of evolution. For example, while the Geophage could be cured, there's no telling how the Krogan anatomy will treat that after not being able to reproduce for so long. That is to say that while the Krogan could breed, it's not a jump in logic to say that the prolonged spans without reproduction have led the Krogan not to reproducing as much as they originally could. Krogan would likely just be as happy that they weren't going extinct. This could balance out more of a standard-sized civilization. Narratively, this could also work if the Krogan were eventually evolved out of the Geophage. I quite like this idea, and it does hold some weight too, as in Andromeda we hear this.
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with the Geophage.
Right. The Geophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show a mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
Yeah. It's still early, but I think we made a dent. Our scientists say we've improved viability to almost 4%, which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
No wonder your people have such a problem with Solarians.
Some wounds never heal. Not that my ancestors didn't provoke it. They did try to conquer the galaxy. The Solarians were forced to respond. And it's not fair to blame it all on them either. The Solarians developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed it. I'm hoping that's all in the past. Plenty of blame to go around, but Andromeda is about new beginnings. My people need that more than most.
So the player could choose they cured the Geophage, with the narrative being that they didn't instantly restore their breeding capacity, but it's been on the rise ever since. Or the player could choose that the sabotage option, and the Krogans have adapted over time, and their birth rates have increased. Both options would leave a stable Krogan population. It doesn't address the possibility of war, and you have to remember the Krogan are a warmongering species. Are they really going to go hundreds of years without being in conflict? Do you think this option could work, or do you have a better suggestion on how to solve the Krogan issue? Let me know in the comments, because I really love reading your theories. And if you'd like to know my thoughts on the Geophage, you can check that out in this video right here. Big thank you to Nerdy Dude, the supporters, and you for watching. I'll see you next time. Commander.